Merry Christmas, West Ham fans. You are back watching Irons United's YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm trying to get into the festive spirit. The day before Christmas, it is Christmas Eve, and I hope Santa is good to you. Merry Christmas, all West Ham fans. Unfortunately, I thought I was going to get an early Christmas present and get 3 points from our game against Newcastle yesterday, but unfortunately, Santa wasn't so generous and is probably going to wait, hopefully, to give us 3 points on Boxing Day. So I'm joined by Matt. Matt's here to just talk to us about the Boxing Day Bournemouth game, and this is going to be the match preview. So Matt, how are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Still getting over the game yesterday. It was a bit disappointing, wasn't it? I think everyone sort of had the stuffing knocked out of them a bit. Like,
that's a good one. That's a good one. I'll take that.
That wasn't even intentional. It just sort of killed momentum a bit, didn't it? It was sort of. But if everyone's mistakes were in one game, then at least it was. Hopefully, it's all one game and it's all been got out of the way, because we've still got a few more winnable games, obviously, coming up with Bournemouth on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. So we do come up against Bournemouth, who have been beaten yesterday by Manchester City 4-0, but to be fair, Manchester City are just a whole new ball game. I mean, I don't even know how many games they've won in a row. We were the closest team to them to take
17 wins in a row now.
It's scary, but Bournemouth, they are depleting in terms of their squad. Injuries galore. Player that we are linked to is Arta. But he's injured with no return date. Don't know if that's coincidental or not. If we are going to make a move for him in January, if that helps with the bringing the cost down, etc. He's not playing. He's not in a limelight. What else do you know about Bournemouth and what injuries they've got coming up, Matt?
I think the Defoe's out. Apparently, there's no return date on that, so you never know. Defoe might be out.
I was going to mention like having him and Stanislas coming back to the club. Would be always worrying, because we are West Ham and that's exactly what happens. So sorry, keep going.
Well, as we saw in Diarme yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
But Stanislas went off injured yesterday, so I'm guessing he won't be playing.
Yeah. Joshua
King's out as well. I mean, it's it seems to be going forward where Bournemouth are really struggling at the moment. Charlie Daniels has been, a left back / left mid who's been pretty reliable for them in their Premier League time, and he's out as well. Ben Smith and Tyrone Mings, so they're really. It's across the board, but most of it is really going forward. Like the players that are going to hurt you.
Yeah, they're players that are creating opportunities and scoring goals. They're missing a lot of those players, which to us is a massive benefit. Obviously, to Bournemouth is a downside. But we are West Ham, Matt. We are West Ham.
You just don't know, do you?
You really don't.
That could spur Bournemouth on for some kid to come and stand up out of nowhere and bang it past us or something.
I mean, I tell you what, I got completely carried away the other night when we done our review our preview for the Newcastle game, but then to be fair, as you said, Matt, at the stadium, you said that everyone had this confidence.
It was. I have to be honest, because I had it as well. But I will say, obviously, I didn't do the review yesterday because I was out having a few drinks. But I had it myself. I sort of went into the game like, we've got this, and especially we scored too early. And that just gave everyone had the arrogance of we got this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hopefully losing the game to Newcastle has sort of not really knocked the confidence out of them, but sort of given them that bit of like slap in the face of reality. Like, come on, guys, just because we just got out of the relegation zone doesn't mean you can all go. I'm the best player. Like, some of the passing was awful. They were trying fancy passes where in the 3 games before we wouldn't have tried it.
Yeah.
So you hope that the result yesterday is going to mean that when we go to Bournemouth on Tuesday, we're going to go back to what we were doing before the Newcastle game.
We have to, Matt. We have to, because we were starting to build a lot of confidence, and for some weird reason, do you know what? I wish we had put out the same team against Arsenal, but it just seemed to, as you have said, knock the stuffing out of the players. The momentum stopped ever so slightly, and then maybe we lost our sight of what we were actually trying to achieve. Because I do believe they set up completely wrong against Newcastle. I mean, what are your thoughts when it comes down to Antonio playing up front? I mean, really?
I understand it against, shall we say, the quote unquote bigger teams, because we're going to be playing. We haven't got the possession. We're playing on the counter. It's balls over the top, running down the channels, which Antonio does very well. But in the game yesterday against Newcastle, I saw a stat in the end that we had like 60-something possession of the ball.
Yeah.
So what is the point in playing Antonio up front in a game when we have the ball? We're not playing him on the counter against Chelsea or Arsenal, where we're like try and win the ball back or hold the ball up down the pitch while we get players forward. You need players to do something on the ball. You'd have much rather have seen someone like Hernandez up top.
I think it's great when you've got someone who's working hard and doing all that stuff on the flanks, but at the end of the day, someone made a valid point, is you need strikers to win games. When you are a team like West Ham,
yeah,
and when you've got 3 strikers sitting on the bench and you've got a player who plays out of position, and tell you what, Matt, and I know you probably feel the same, I feel sorry for Antonio, because I feel like he's getting highlighted.
He's getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
I think we rely on him. We rely on him so much that we don't let him recover. So he's never fully fit, and anyone knows a fully fit player. He should be getting somewhere near to it now, though. But it seems that we should be bringing him on for like the last half hour of a game, and then the next game 40 minutes, and then 45 minutes, and then give him a 90. Whereas like the second he gets near fitness, we just go bang, all right.
Yeah. And then
play 60 minutes, and then he breaks down again. And
play 60 minutes up top, which is not your position. Now, listen, it's fine that he does that, and he gives us a lot of passion, determination. He works his backside off, but yeah, you're making a completely valid point. I think I would rather see that energy come in the last 20 minutes. And
while he's not fit, there's no point.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like I think it was him yesterday. He had a header, like it was a free header, like literally 6 yards out, and he stuck it like 7 yards wide.
Yeah. And
whereas if that had been Hernandez, Hernandez would have buried it.
Yeah.
You know, Hernandez would have buried that chance.
To be fair, if it wouldn't have just been him, if it was Carroll or Sacco, just any natural born, goal scorer, like striker.
I think we have to maybe accept the fact now that Arnautovic is now going to be recognised as a striker. Moyes has put it on like you're not a winger, you're a striker.
Yeah.
But still, playing Newcastle at home, you'd expect to play 2 out-and-out strikers up front.
Yeah.
Like,
I tell you what though, like I mean, Arnautovic again. I'll eat all my words. I'll put my hands up. He is absolutely losing the camera.
Nope,
he is proven me completely wrong. He is not. He is slowly but surely becoming a fan favourite, and he's slowly but surely becoming a favourite for me to watch. I mean, when you think of his goal he scored yesterday, he had a lot of work to do. He had a lot of work to do. Yeah, it was a mistake by Newcastle, but it was a mistake in the half before, even his own half, and he had to still run the full end of the park, dummy a boy, cross the ball over, and then put it behind the keeper. Like, that's not easy. Like, that's not an easy job. The boy is oozing confidence, and this is the thing I want to see. I mentioned it the last time. I am desperate to see on Boxing Day him and Chicharito up top. Now that we have Lanzini returning,
the 3 of them was like, say, Lanzini playing just in behind the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Teams, not just Bournemouth, and I'm not saying it to disrespect Bournemouth, teams in general will struggle if that is an attacking front 3 we go with.
Yeah. And do you know what the thing is? I really hope that fans, even if we come into the Bournemouth game and that 3 players you mentioned there, that they do play and Chicharito doesn't get a goal, then that doesn't mean he's crap. He needs a run of games. He's not had a full 90 minutes for what?
Well, let's not forget, I mean, Arnautovic played 3 or 4 games up front before he got his first goal.
Yeah.
He played a couple of games up front first. It might have been 3 games, 2 games. He didn't just go in and go, all right, here's a goal.
Yeah. But he's been showing the hard work and the determination.
But, I mean, Antonio, I think last scored, was it Burnley away? Was that the last time Antonio scored?
But that's the thing, though. I feel like we're judging him as a striker, and he's not a striker. And that's the unfortunate thing. Like he's not scoring goals because he's not playing in his position. You know,
it's not his fault, but he will be judged as a striker if he is playing up front.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're playing up front. You've got to score goals. I mean, Antonio last season would have buried that header yesterday. Because was it last season? Like between last season and the season before, he scored like 10 headers in a row, didn't he?
Yeah.
He would have buried that. But
I do think it comes down to positioning, though, because when he played and he scored most of those goals last year, he was coming in from a midfield point of view.
On the back post.
He was always at the back. He was always behind the ball. Where when you're a forward and you're not a natural born goal scorer or you're not a natural born striker, you kind of do lose your positioning. So in theory, maybe we're doing him an injustice. Professional footballer, free header, you want to at least have that on target.
I'm not saying he had to score. Yeah. I mean, I want him to score, but you should hit the target from there.
Absolutely. Bournemouth, we're travelling away Boxing Day. We've sold out our allocation again. Great West Ham fans. We've already discussed how depleting squad they have. We're interested potentially in one of their players, Harry Arter. What do you know about him?
I've seen bits of him. He's creative, he's industrial, something we need. Because I mean, if you look at the game yesterday, IU tries hard, but he's not got the creative spark we needed, and we did lack that yesterday. For all the possession we had,
Absolutely.
There was no passes through the middle. It was all down the wing and crosses over the top.
Yeah.
So he's definitely someone we could use. I see apparently we've had a bid rejected for 8 million, which I think is maybe a bit of an insult to Bournemouth.
Absolutely.
I think that the quote online reckons it's nearer 15 million, and I'll put myself out there. If people want to say in the comments I'm wrong, I would sell Kouyaté for 12 to 15 million and then replace him with Harry Arter, because I don't see what Kouyaté's bringing to the team right now. Kouyaté in the first season was a box-to-box machine. He was everything, whereas maybe this calendar year, I don't know what's happened, but he's just not providing. So if we can bring Arter in, I'd happily bring Arter in to maybe get rid of Kouyaté.
I don't know. I really do worry with this whole Kouyaté thing, because you're right. He's not done anything.
I wouldn't want to send him to a Premier League team, because you know full well that if we sold him, because if you sold someone like Tottenham, he'd probably become one of the best box-to-box players in the league. I would rather sell him abroad, say like Italy or Spain.
I think his head has been turned at some point, because I think teams, there is no ifs or buts about it. When you've got a on-form Kouyaté, he's one of the first names on our team sheet when he's on form. But when he's not on form, it just makes me think, because he's not a hard worker. He comes across like he's
naturally, but
yeah, he
at
looks.
The moment.
Well, yeah, but he looks like an influential person in the squad. He looks like he's friendly. He looks like he keeps people entertained. That's the sort of person you want in and around the squad. But his performances don't show anything at all. Like, it shows he doesn't care. If you look at the goal that you had mentioned earlier on from yesterday, he's tracking back. He's not tracking back again. That
second goal with Diame was like breaking a nut to get in the box to score, and you saw Kouyaté just sort of labouring back.
That's twice now in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Because he's done it
in Everton.
He's done it the Everton game, and he also done it at the Tottenham game in the cup as well.
Yeah.
When they scored in like the first 5 minutes, he was playing centre back that day, and he went chasing the ball, and they just broke and scored. And I said yesterday before the game, I would have rather played Declan Rice.
Yeah, and I tell you what, great shout. Yeah.
Because Declan Rice, he won't give you anything going forward, but you know full well that he will sit there and he's defensive minded, he's got the shape, he doesn't go chasing the ball, which is what Kouyaté seems to be doing at the moment. I mean, I know there was rumours in the summer that he was possibly going to AC Milan because they got these new owners, and his agent's been throwing his name out there to all these big teams saying come and get him.
Yeah, his head's definitely turned.
Before I wanted him to stay, but
I'm slightly worried that we jumped the gun with a player like Kouyaté. I think a player like Kouyaté, I understand people's frustration with him, but I personally feel like I want to stick by him and give him the rest of the season at least, just to see what happens, because I think if he can turn his season around, then that's fine.
There's time to do it, but I don't think we've got the time to play him in the first. He's got to work his way back. He's got to come off the bench for like 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and like evolve back into the game again. Like yesterday, I mean, there was a couple of guys I thought had awful games, but Kouyaté was one of them. And like Obiang was getting caught out all over the place because he was trying to carry Kouyaté through the game. We can't afford to be carrying players through the game.
Obiang's passing's so inconsistent as well. It's crazy. But then again,
some games there's amazing games, and some games it's just awful. Which is why he's someone needs to find his consistency.
And he's building his confidence though alongside Mark Noble, but we don't know if he's even going to be back for this game.
I think he probably is. I mean, I heard it was only a knock. So I'm hoping he should be back. If not, as I said a minute ago, I'd honestly rather play Declan Rice.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, let's move into maybe team selection. We've kind of discussed Bournemouth. We said we'd keep this one kind of short and sweet for you guys because we know it's Christmas time. But if we talk about team selection, here's an interesting point for you. All season, Joe Hart has been getting stick left, right, and centre, and early on in the season, I had mentioned that he can only do or deal with what's in front of him in terms of the defence. Now, the defence went to pot again yesterday, and this time Adrian was in goal and conceded 3 goals. Am I exaggerating the situation, or?
I mean, I haven't seen the replay of the free kick. I mean, I'm in the bottom or upper, so it looked like a really good free kick. I have heard murmurs that he possibly should have saved it.
But being honest with you, like, it was a great free kick, yes. Should Adrian got to it? Yes. Do I blame him for that? Not 100%, because it did hit the corner, the low corner. But I mean, it did. But he should have had enough time to get over there.
In all fairness, even if Joe Hart was in goal yesterday, it wouldn't have made a difference. Like, well, it didn't matter what goalkeeper was in goal yesterday, because they were all quality. They were clinical, Newcastle.
That's my point.
The free kick was in the corner. The shot, the arm maze was in the roof of the net in the corner.
And that's to do with that's to do with
third one.
That's to do with the defence in front of them. Like, because if you look at Zabaleta, and he was jumping in the gun, jumping again, jumping at the players, and the players were just knocking the ball by him.
He was terrified, and I give credit to Newcastle because they fully deserved the win yesterday.
Yeah.
But they're the first team that's actually really, really just put a lightning quick winger on the wing and just said, just attack Zabaleta.
Absolutely. Like, you go for him every single time. Because what Zabaleta did was he just kept jumping in, and he was caught. He
knew he had to. That was the thing. He knew he had to, because he knew that he couldn't try and jockey, because if he tried to jockey, Atsu was gone.
Yeah. But I think
in that instance, you'd be looking at someone like Kuarte to come over and help him. Like, as the midfielder nearest him, you'd expect him to come in and maybe support Zabaleta.
Yeah. And in reference to the goalkeeper, like, I'm not remotely trying to say Adrian should be dropped, because I think he's not really particularly done anything wrong yet. But it only took up till the Everton game for me for Hart to be dropped, due to that massive couple of mistakes he made in that game. But I do think that there is a worry, because I think we do build momentum with our defence. But when our defence is off form, and I wasn't impressed with Ogbonna yesterday, maybe a couple of decent things he did, but I felt like he was starting to jump out of position again, and he was at fault for one of the goals again.
It's like the second goal went in, they just started panicking.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know we're going to stick with Adrian. I just wanted to kind of put that point out there. What changes would you make in the defence?
I would love to give Byram a run out, but I don't think he's fit yet.
Yeah.
So I think Zabaleta is going to go back in at the right wing back.
Yeah. You make a valid point though. I'm really intrigued to see what happens now that Byram comes back, because if anything, you've got a young player that has played first team football for our club, and you've got what we call the official right back at our club that's there. He's a bit older, but he's getting caught out. He is becoming, if you're an opposition team, you're looking at that as a weakness to our defence.
It's nothing against Zaba, because he is like a proper season pro.
Yeah.
But he does get exposed, because we play like this sort of 3-5-2, don't we?
Yeah.
And like Newcastle yesterday played 4-4-2, and we got found out because they had a wing back and a winger who just continually doubled up and bombed down the wing, and it got to the point most of the time where Zabaleta's standing there, like, he's 2-on-1.
Yeah.
If he commits, the guy runs past him. He can't turn around back because he hasn't got the pace.
Absolutely.
So it's like, if you want to play Zabaleta, maybe we should switch to a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be 5 at the back. I'd be tempted to drop Creswell for Collins, because personally for me, I thought Creswell had a shocking game yesterday.
Well, they did in the first half. They targeted his side, and he was having a shocking game. But then, do you know what? Is that enough to drop him? Is it enough to drop him? Do we need to, with all Bournemouth's issues, problems, injuries? Is it the right setup to bring Collins in?
Well, we've just seen, like, there's no Defoe, there's no Callum Wilson, so I don't know much about. There's the Mousset, I don't know much about him, and who is it? The other centre forward,
King.
Yeah.
Who's capable of a goal? Who's capable?
Yeah. So maybe because they got pace. I mean, maybe it is worth leaving Creswell in.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're exactly aerial threats. I mean, unless if they play a Phobie, it's maybe say the same back 5.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to give plaudits to Masuaku again. I was slightly worried a few times in yesterday's game, but at the end of the day, he is a threat going forward. I don't know how he does it. It's like he's tap dancing through that midfield. The ball is really close to him, and he sometimes gets himself into crazy situations, but he gets himself out. There was a couple of times he caught himself out, and he was too far forward, and he let Newcastle come on a counter attack. But I'm happy. I'm quite excited about him, and I want him to stay there. But if we move into midfield, Matt, you've obviously stated that you want Kouati dropped, and if no, fit, what happens then?
I'd go back. You saw for 4 games you had Noble and Obiang as a midfield 2.
Yeah.
And they played. We only shipped 2 goals in like the 4 games.
Absolutely.
And then Noble disappeared, and we shipped 3 goals in a game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's entirely just down to the fact Noble wasn't in there.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, because I'll put my hands up and say right now, I was one of the guys at the start of the season saying, get him out of the team.
Yeah.
He's too slow, he's too off the pace, and he slows the play up. But like that 3rd goal for Newcastle yesterday, there's just no communication on that pitch whatsoever.
No.
Like, it looks like if Noble's not in the middle of that park, giving out orders, no one else is doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So...
No.
I'd put Noble back in if he's fit.
If Noble's fit, then Noble goes in beside Obiang. If Noble's not fit,
I'd take Declan Rice.
That's exactly who I'm going to say, Declan Rice. For me, it's a no-brainer, and I think Kouate's not done enough to stay in the team just now. So he needs to know that he can be dropped.
Yesterday was his chance, because that was his first game. It's the first time he's been back in the team since he was injured.
Yeah.
And that was his chance to put his stamp of authority on it, like I'm the midfield bosser, and he completely bowled it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lanzini's back, so it's a no-brainer.
Straight back in. No offence to Ayew. It's not because I do like Ayew, because he will always run his socks off, and he tracks back, he makes tackles, and he's actually like a fox in the box as well. The amount of goals he gets inside the 6-yard box.
He's our top goal scorer.
He's ridiculous.
He's our top goal scorer this year as well, with something like 6 goals.
He was playing number 10 yesterday, and it's not his position.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, like, so no offence to Ayew, but Lanzini walked straight back in.
Arnautovic, and finally, for you,
Hernandez.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be. I can't see how anyone would say don't play this guy. He has to start this game. He has to start this game.
After Moyes' post-match conference yesterday, I don't think Antonio's going to start.
Yeah, he seems to throw him under the bus, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone saw it or read it yet, but what he basically said was that, and quite rightly so, to be honest, because he threw Antonio. He did single out Antonio, but he did also have a massive rip into the defence. But I think sometimes players get sort of cuddled and wrapped in cotton wool, and they don't get negative stuff said about him because it discourages them. But he's not done. Again, I said I don't want to moan at Antonio because he's not fit and he's playing out of position. But he offered nothing for 45 minutes yesterday, and apparently he got into the dressing room and Moyes said to him, "You've offered nothing for 45 minutes. Go out there and show me something." After 15 minutes, he hadn't, and he pulled him off and put Carroll on.
Threw him under the bus, didn't he? I think. But I made this point. I think in the review, like, no player is bigger than West Ham. So yeah, I love Antonio. He's been fantastic. He's brilliant. But I've got no harm in him being dropped. It doesn't offend me if he's not. I think it will benefit him. It will benefit him, yeah, because when it comes.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's like, I'm sitting there saying I want Carty dropped because I think he's been awful. He was awful yesterday. He's not been good all season, and yesterday was his chance to get in. I'm not saying that about Antonio because he wasn't good yesterday, but at the same time he's never fit. Like, they won't let him get fit.
Yeah.
Any other team, you see it like, Hazard's out for 4 games injured. We're bringing him back. He'll come off the bench twice and then he goes to the starting lineup again.
Yeah.
We bring Antonio in, go, off you go, run yourself into the ground for 70 minutes.
Yeah.
You've picked up a niggle again. You're out for a week.
Yeah.
And it's like a never-ending cycle. It just goes round and round. He gets injured, he's dropped, he comes straight back into the starting lineup, runs himself into the ground, picks up a niggle. I mean, I don't know if you guys mentioned it on the review, but when I saw him walking off yesterday, he was holding the back of his thigh.
Yeah.
As he walked off the pitch, like, it looked like he tried to stretch for that rebound from the penalty, and it looks like he pulled up again.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. Yeah, and do you know what? Like you said, I think if he does get dropped, it's not going to do him any harm, because and the thing is, Matt, you've said it before. We've all said it before. He's carried our team quite a few games.
Yeah,
and
he'll always give 100%.
Yeah,
but he can only give 100% of what he's got.
Yeah, if
he's only 70% fit, he'll give you 100% of 70%.
Yeah.
He can't give you more than he's got.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, I think I do worry that we're not playing Hernandez enough.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, I do generally worry that come next week, we're going to see it on Sky Sports. It's going to flick across on the freaking bottom of the screen. Hernandez is handing a transfer request. And I honestly wouldn't blame him if he did. Because we played Newcastle yesterday and we played with 2 wingers up front and didn't play with centre forward, and we had 3 centre forwards on the bench.
And do you know what? Some people might say that you're exaggerating, but I really don't see that. The guy is what, 29, 30? How old is he?
29, coming to 30.
Yeah, 29.
And he came to us because we offered him first team football.
Yeah. But
like, he had other options, but we were like, oh no, you're going to be our main striker.
Oh, it's a no fucking brainer why we play him, to be honest.
We're, like, I appreciate the fact that Moyes has done something Stoke didn't do, and he's converted Arnautovic into a centre forward. But Antonio's not a centre forward.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's a winger that runs in at the far post, will score headers, he can get past people and put a cross in, and he gets the occasional goal.
Yeah.
Hernandez has played up front for Man United and Real Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
But you're starting Antonio in front of him.
Yeah, it's time.
To me, it doesn't make sense. Like, I haven't really said it until now, but you talking about it like that, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. And
this guy played. He's played left and right wing for West Ham and Nottingham Forest, and Tooting and Mitcham and Reading, and you've got a guy that's played up front for Man United, Bayer Leverkusen and Real Madrid. And you're starting the other guy in front of him.
But it's not. It's not. Like I said, it's not Antonio's fault. But
no, it's
something.
It's not a dig against Antonio.
No, I know.
It's more maybe Moyes that he's insisting on playing him.
Matt, I've said this all along. I've said it from day dot. Listen, if we want a striker to come into our club and be able to perform, you can't drop him after 2 or 3 games if he's not scoring goals. We're West Ham United. We're not these Manchester Uniteds, etc. And sometimes these players take a little while to be able to get a little bit of form and a couple of goals. But we play Hernandez non-stop every single game, every single minute, because when he is in there, he is going to potentially take a chance. The ball's falling to players and they're missing these chances, and in theory you want it to be Chicharito who's on the end of those chances.
I mean, I do wonder if he scored that goal against Arsenal, whether he'd have started the next game or something.
But I thought that was enough. For me, that was enough. Like,
just to show him that he had that
one chance and he nearly scored and he put it under pressure. Like that. To be honest, I don't even think it needs to be enough. Like, he needs to start. He's got 4 goals for us this year, and he's not played every single game yet. And he's made a couple of subs appearances, so he's showing that at our level he can still score goals. He needs to play. End of. And do you know what? I said this in the preview. When you've got a player that's, or maybe I've said it tonight. When you've got a player who's on form like Arnautovic, you need to put players that will match them, who can play up to them. And if he is so motivated and he's so buzzing with confidence, oozing confidence, that he's going to look for those passes that Chicharito wants. Chicharito's going to go put that ball there, and Arnautovic is going to go okay. And Arnautovic is looking up right now and going, "There's Antonio. I'm not going to be able to do that for him because he doesn't look and read the game like a striker, where Hernandez does." So if you've got a player with that confidence, you've seen it yesterday with Arnautovic. A couple of times he was in, he chased the ball down into the Newcastle box. He got the ball, he turned around and he crossed it in, and no one was there. And the Newcastle player came up and picked it up. So I think Arnautovic must have put the ball in the box about 6 or 7 times yesterday, and no one got near it. And Chicharito, if he's on the end of one of them, like, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but he needs to play. He needs to play, end of, and that's what I want to see. And I know, tell you what, if I wake up on Boxing Day and the next thing you know, we're looking at Antonio or another player playing up front, I will be disappointed. And I can't. How can you have a dig towards Chicharito if he's not playing in the team? Nobody can. Nobody. I've seen some people trying to dig him out, saying he falls around all over the floor. This guy gets hacked left, right, and centre. I've watched it.
Everyone kicks lumps out of him. They kick lumps out of him. He wins about 1 million free kicks for our team, and at the end of the day, he comes off with like bruised left, right, and centre. And he's chipped in with 4 goals. He's been injured. He's not played a lot recently. It's time for Chicharito to come back in the team and prove his worth and prove what he can do as an international striker. Because I tell you what, Matt, you know what's going to happen. He leaves. He'll go elsewhere. He'll score 40 or 50 odd goals over the next couple of seasons. You know that if he leaves in January and he goes somewhere else. Yeah. He'll hit double figures before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like, I still think he'll hit double figures here, but he won't if you're not playing him.
Exactly, but I think he will. And I thought he was going to play today. I was disappointed with that. Yesterday I was disappointed with that. But do you know what? What can we do? So listen, we've probably rambled on quite a lot. It is Christmas Eve. We're putting this preview out today because we want to obviously let you be able to enjoy your Christmas time, and you don't want to see myself and Matt's faces on Christmas Day maybe much, but We are West Ham fans after all. Before we go, Matt, predictions for Boxing Day?
It depends what team turns up. if the team that's been playing well turned up, I think we could see it out 3-0.
God, I'm not even going down that route.
If the team that turned up yesterday turns up, it'll be 3-3.
Yeah. I'm going for a 2-1 victory. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be positive based upon Chicharito starting. I'm not saying he's going to score the goals, but what a boost we need for someone like him to come in and play. So 2-1. I'm not going to go overconfident because I did that for the Newcastle game and I've been absolutely smashed.
My only thing is that the difference is Benitez knows how to defend, and you saw that in the game yesterday. They knew how to defend. You know, they clear their lines, win the ball up the pitch, and then move forward. Whereas Eddie Howe and Bournemouth don't do that. Like they can't do it, which is why they're struggling at the bottom.
Yeah.
Their only way of playing is to play attacking football.
Well, you got a good stat, didn't you? They've conceded 8 in the last 2.
They played Liverpool. They went to Liverpool. They played at home to Liverpool last weekend, and they went to the Etihad yesterday.
To be
and
fair,
they conceded 8 goals.
To be fair, they are playing Liverpool again, and playing Manchester City, but
they said it. I think it might have been Gary Neville said it in the Liverpool game. He said that's Bournemouth's problem down the bottom. He says they can't play ugly. You know, they can't play ugly. They don't. It's not in their DNA to do it.
Yeah.
It's not in their philosophy. They have to play they have to play good attacking football.
Yeah.
And we've seen that against the other teams that teams that do that, we play well against on the counter.
Yeah.
And we will be the away team, so we will be able to sit there, go there and play on the counter.
Yeah, absolutely.
On Boxing Day. So that's why I'm thinking, if we turn up as we've done at Stoke, we did at Chelsea and Arsenal, we could get out 3-0. If they turn up like they did against Newcastle yesterday, it could easily be 3-3.
Yep, no, that's cool. That's us pretty much giving us your preview. Last question I'm going to ask you, Matt, is what have you asked Santa for?
Well, I did ask for 3 points, but I didn't get that. So I might try and get it and see if we can give it a day late instead.
Yeah. I think I'm going to join you in that one, Matt. I asked for 3 points. We never got it, but I'm going to try and play.
He's giving it a day late. I'll let him on.
Yeah, give us a day late. But if you've got any comments, etc., get them in the blah stuff below. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us all on the social media sites. We're moving into the new year, loads of fixtures coming up, loads of competitions coming up, so make sure you subscribe. Listen, at the end of the day, I've put a little picture at the bottom. One of the guys put a picture at the bottom saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all West Ham fans and to everyone else who's out there who's watches. Be a bit weird if you're another fan from another team watching this channel, but hey ho, you never know. So we are West Ham. Come on you Irons, Merry Christmas.
Come on you Irons.